Cacti and succulents are amongst the most fascinating plants in the world for me, and there's plenty to choose from. It's estimated there are 50,000 species of succulent plants in the world. So when it comes to propagation, there's many different paths you can choose. These mother-of-million plant leaves were placed on a pot a couple of months ago, and these little babies have started to sprout from the edge of the leaf, where these touch the media. This ability to grow plants from the leaf occurs in many of the Kalanchoe family, including this little sweetie here. Just a matter of laying the leaves down on top of the mix like that, and before you know it, they start sending out bulbs. And this beautiful velvet plant, you can actually grow this by tying a bit of string to it, put it in a humid location, and before you know it, you start getting little babies forming in mid-air. Many succulents can be grown by cuttings, and here are a few examples. It's always a good idea to dry the cuts for a few days before sticking into a suitable medium. I like to use an open mix of 80% perlite to 20% cocoa peat. This elkhorn plant is a variegated form of a euphorbia, and the characteristics that you see in the parent plant, the mother plant particularly, come through in the baby when you make a cutting, including this twisted monstrose form. Now the same applies to this crown of thorns. You can see the fan of the growth there, and once again we can make a cutting from that and reproduce it. This ornamental prickly pear was cut in autumn. Let's have a look at what sort of a root system we've got. Some succulents can be grown from seed. Now this is the seed of the boab tree, which hails from the Kimberley region of Western Australia. Now these are as hard as heck. So what I'm going to do is use a file to rub just a little hole in the outside of that seed. You can see that little bit of black. Now I put these into warm water and leave them overnight. They'll swell up, and then tomorrow morning I can plant them out here. I use the same propagation mix to which I've added a thin layer of fine perlite. Once sown, I'll lightly cover with the perlite to help hold moisture close to the emerging baby plant. Quite a number of succulents can be divided up, and this aloe is an excellent example. You just need to pull this baby plant away from mother. It's still got roots of its own, so that's ready to go into a pot on its own or out into the garden. I hope I might have inspired you to have a bit of fun in the garden this weekend by propagating your own cacti and succulent.